and welcome to the Lakers Pulse podcast. I am your host, Nelson Espinal, at new handle, probably Nelson
Oh,
on
whoa.
Twitter.
Switching
Uh,
it.
yeah, switching it up, you know what I mean? Gotta change it up. So with me today, I have Merge. What's up, Merge?
Hello.
And Clayton couldn't make it on the podcast because he's in Cambodia, or whatever, being happy and living life and doing all that kind of boring stuff. And I'm glad. We don't have anyone to bring up Jamal Murray or to be an asshole on the podcast. It's just me and Merge, and I can be the resident asshole of the podcast. So that makes me feel better about myself. So where we are, Clayton, fuck you. Uh, so, uh, so yeah, the Lakers lost against the TrailBlazers. They got blown out. The game was never really close. Um, D'Angelo was probably the best player in the game. He scored 20 points again, which was exciting. He was pretty efficient from the game. Jordan Clarkson was not so efficient. Really struggled from the field. Nwaba was promising as always. Really good defense. Showed some offensive slashing kind of things. Made a three, right, Merch? You made a three? Yeah, your boy made a three. Yeah. He was causing havoc on defense, having really good defensive possessions, just showed a lot of energy and really is starting to look like a steal with that really cheap contract.
Mhm.
So, Merge, what were your kind of general thoughts on the game?
This game I didn't really take. A lot from it was really just D'Angelo and Nwaba, and maybe and Jordan Clarkson is inconsistent, obviously. I think we can really take more from the last game, the Timberwolves game, because that showed all the young guys played well. Jordan had 35, Randall had 21. D'Angelo didn't shoot great, but he was poised, and he was able to like play good defense, pass the ball well. I think Larry had about 12 points in that game. At this point of the season, it's really just seeing what works, and I think the biggest takeaway of the recent D'Angelo Jordan Clarkson experiment is that I don't think both of them can be good together. I think one of them would be good, and then the other one won't do anything.
Yeah.
Not that D'Angelo played bad in the Timberwolves game, but you can tell that D'Angelo off ball, they're not using him the right way off ball.
Yeah.
They just put him in the corner and they let JC work. Which, if you're gonna have D'Angelo off ball, use his cutting ability, his movement off ball ability. That's what he was in Ohio State a lot of the times. That's why he was so good. Don't just banish him in the corner. But besides that, not really much to take away from this game. We might see Larry start sometime in the next game or so. I think Luke wants to see it, but besides that, not really much to really go off of.
Yeah, it was just another loss. You can just add to the loss column, and it was great for the tank. I was really excited for that. But yeah, it's just for most of these late games, there's not really much to pull from, especially late game because it's usually garbage time or whatever. Um, but yeah, I think at this point it's just like the whole point to watch is experimenting and to see how all these players fare and to see can Julius Randle shoot. These are the kind of things that you can discover right now because it's fine to lose games or whatever to experiment this year because next year the expectations are going to be pretty high. You're probably going to be showcasing your team to Paul George, or at least that's the hope. And you should have another young piece coming in next year that should help. I don't think young piece hurt a team; they help. And yeah, and if the Lakers sign someone, a couple veterans, that they should be better. And if the players keep developing, they should be better. But for now, it's just just a bunch of wash games that you watch them to see if a young player does well. But I think at this point, you're just evaluating players and players like D'Angelo who are already known commodities, and what you have in him. You have a superstar guard. You're kind of if he doesn't touch the ball as much, and we give Jordan Clarkson a couple more touches, whether it's to showcase him to be traded next next offseason, or if it's to maybe package him and trade him to trade up and draft or something like that. Like that's what you're looking for right now.
Shout out to Clayton.
Yeah, shout out to Clayton who mentions he wants to trade Jordan Clarkson every day in the chat, and he is also adamant about getting Lover, who Merge also wants. So
Yes.
That's yeah. So not much to take away from this game. Really meh game. But last time on the podcast, we talked about the offseason scenario if the Lakers missed out on the pick. So they would not be adding another player. But this time, we're talking about what happens if the Lakers keep the pick and they do end up drafting, whether it's Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, Josh Jackson, Jason Tatum, Jonathan Isaac, either one of those guys. And apparently, De'Aaron Fox, I guess that's a thing now.
Hey, man, Magic was at that game, and he took over against Lonzo, so you never know.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox has a great name, so that immediately puts into the conversation.
De'Aaron and D'Angelo.
Exactly.
That'd be great.
De'Aaron's really foxy, so he could sneak his way into the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I guess you didn't get the pun, Merge. Whatever, F you, man. Okay, so what would be your ideal offseason plan if the Lakers manage to keep the top 3 pick?
So it kind of matters with like where we end up with that top 3 pick.
Yeah.
So what do you want to assume?
Let's assume number 2 for now.
Okay, 2 for now. Yeah. So I'm assuming Fultz is gone. That's also what I'm assuming.
I don't know if that's safe to assume.
I mean a lot of
unless you want to go off Draft Express.
I'm just going off Draft Express.
Okay.
And I think NBA Draft.net has Fultz first now, and a lot of people have Fultz first.
Yeah.
So we'll say Fultz is gone. Personally, I would rather have Josh Jackson over Lonzo.
Okay.
And get him and have him play 2. Or actually, I can see Luke bringing Josh off the bench. I mean, he did that with Brandon, and maybe just to get Josh, kind of accustomed to speed of the game and have him kind of handle the ball a lot for the second unit, and then eventually start alongside D'Angelo and Ingram. And then I think we should try to get another pick besides our 28th. Or we can package a player with the 28th to get a higher pick. So I think that Jordan might be gone this offseason. Kind of a personal thing, but I also feel like that's why they're trying to showcase him a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of guys who are in the middle of the draft that I would like. People like OG would be great. Donovan Mitchell would be great. Your boy from Duke would be great. Luke Kennard would be great. Or we can try to trade for another pick in the lottery, which again I can see happening from the front office standpoint. I feel like Pelinka is going to be active. I feel like he's going to make moves on draft night. But I think we will trade Jordan Clarkson in some sort of package in the offseason, whether it be draft, whether it be for another young piece like a Levert, or it will be a part of a Mozgov or Deng deal. And then going into free agency, I would look for like role players. If Josh Jackson doesn't start at the 2 and he comes off the bench, hopefully we sign someone who is a shooter, at least a shooter to put alongside D'Angelo and Brandon. JJ Redick. I don't know if he'd want to come off the bench. That's the thing. Because I'm assuming Josh Jackson would want to start eventually, or I'm assuming he would start eventually.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if you're gonna sign JJ Redick, and he's a stopgap guy. Like you signed to a 1 year, $25 million contract or something like that. And then after the next year, you just let him walk, and it's just like if it turns out well and he wants to come back next year at a much lower price, then you bring him back. And if you don't, then you can just sign Paul George.
Yeah, or I mean, I guess what you could do is might be able to move them up a position. You know, play Ingram at the 4, play Jackson at the 3, and then get JJ and have him at the 2, which could happen.
And then play Randall off the bench.
Yeah, that or trade him. I think he'd be a nice guy to have off the bench. I think ideally, the only two people who are on the trade block this offseason would be Randall and Clarkson, and maybe the pick. But I think D'Angelo and Brandon are safe. I think Zubac is safe.
Would you trade Zubac for a good offer?
Like what? Give me an example.
Like, what if someone offered a top 20 pick?
Give me like top 15 and I'd do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, this would be like trying to get someone like
Jared Allen?
Jared Allen maybe, but I feel like he'd be gone in the top 10. Maybe like OG.
Okay.
Something like that. But I'm not trading him for like nothing.
Wouldn't you be worried about the center position at that point though?
Like, I would if we get OG, yeah. But I think if it's like a lottery pick, I'd like definitely do it because you don't know who would drop it at that point. And if we're trading Zubac, I'm assuming they would get a Jared Allen, you know.
Yeah.
Or if like we're able to get like if the Kings asked us for like Randall and Zubac for their highest pick and like Cauley Stein, I'd do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, no one take this as like we're trying to get rid of Randall. I think he can still be really good, and he's shown recently that he can be good when he's good. He's really good.
Yeah.
And
he's awesome.
He's great when he's on. And he's been showing a 3-point shot recently, which is huge. But if the right offer comes, I would do it. I mean, this is like trading Randall for like, say like Jonathan Isaac. I mean, that's a high potential, you know, high upside guy right there. And that's not just trading him for nothing. That's trading for someone who has potential to be even better than him, you know? Yeah,
like on the spectrum of untradeable to trading block, I think Randall's probably in the middle, where like it could go either way. Where you could see the front office being like, "Yeah, we're gonna keep him," but I wouldn't. But I think he's also like pretty close to being like tradable, just because he's not like this like he's not an untouchable guy, right? Like you can live without him. Is what I'm saying. He's not gonna be a future superstar, but he certainly does have a skill set that's really unique, and that's worth keeping around at least for maybe a couple more years, and then if you decide that maybe you don't want him or he's not the best fit for your team, that's when you can deal.
Yeah. So I'll just go off of this for like what I would want to happen if Lakers kept the pick. I'll just go off of like a starting lineup. So ideally, it would be like D'Angelo, Jackson, Ingram, Randall, and Zubac, right? And then whoever not really ideally, but that would be the most likely. And then whoever we draft off the in the 28th pick off the bench, or whoever we package for with Clarkson or something like that, off the bench with Larry and a new backup center, because I don't know who that's going to be. I think we're gonna get someone new from there for there. I think Tarek's gone, and oh no, I'm sorry, not a new backup center. I forgot about Mozgov.
Yeah, we got Moz.
I really forgot about Moz. Yeah, Moz will be back up with Larry, Dang, and probably whoever we draft, because I think whoever we draft is going to be a guard as well with the other pick. Like I really like from Oklahoma State, Juwan Evans. I think he'd be a fun guy to have off the bench to back up D'Angelo, kind of a change of pace type guy. So someone
Yeah.
that's different from D'Angelo, and like he'll attack the rim, and he's aggressive, and he's like another good passer. So if you wanted to pair D'Angelo with a point guard, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about this before, how like the point guard, the backup point guard position has been addressed for a really long time, and
Yeah,
that's pretty sad. Considering like D'Angelo is obviously ideally we want to play 30 plus minutes, but there also has to be like some guards to make up for that time, and
well,
obviously
and I want D'Angelo to play some shooting guard minutes too off the
yeah,
ball.
and that's why you need to have a solid starting backup point. I mean, a solid backup point, because you can't. I mean, like you see Ennis, and he's terrible, he clearly brings the team down. Like you can just see it skill wise how like Ennis isn't even close to like I don't even think he's an NBA player, honestly. And yeah, I mean, like it's getting a guy like Juwan Evans or a backup point. It's probably not like the most valuable thing or whatever, but
Yeah,
it addresses a need that's been there for 2 years now.
right. Yeah, the Lakers haven't had a true backup point guard since Jordan Farmar, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, Jordan Farmer probably.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time since we've had a true point guard
Mm-hmm.
to back up whoever we had. I like a Jawan Evans, or maybe like you buy a second round pick and you get like a Frank Mason or something like that. I mean, it would be ideally you want someone off the bench to be someone who can create for themselves, make a little bit, and play some defense. And I think that's Jawan Evans, right?
Yeah.
Because I still don't think Clarkson's a point guard. He's definitely better with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Even though he has like some crazy good numbers off screens. I don't know why they don't run more off screens for him. But I feel like not D'Angelo. I feel like Clarkson is gonna be gone. It's hard, but I think the thing you can really kind of predict for if we keep the pick, it would be who we draft. Because I think if we keep it, there's like an 80%, 90% chance we draft someone and we keep them. No matter what pick, I think first and second maybe. Third maybe they'll think about it, but first and second, definitely they'll draft someone and use them.
Mm-hmm.
And then whoever we pick with the 28th pick, we don't know because it can be someone can drop. Again, I always bring up the example of last year. Deontay Davis and Skal Labissière were 29 to like 33 picks.
Mm-hmm.
They're in that range, and Skal's been doing great, and I still think Deontay is a good prospect. He's been hurt this year. So I and then free agency will be a lot different if we don't keep if we do keep the pick, because I don't think the Lakers are gonna mainly go after big name stars. I mean, maybe they will, but I don't. The only one I would see that would make any sense would be like Blake Griffin, maybe Gordon Hayward, and they move up Ingram to the 4, or. Mm-hmm. But I think if they get a big name guy, I think Julius is bench or gone.
Yeah,
because most of the big name guys are 3s who would move Ingram to a 4 or 4s, like Blake Griffin.
Do you think Ingram's ready to play the 4 or start the 4 right now, like next year? See, because that's my thing. Like, you can sign Randall to like an extension and then kill him after, but like, Randall's like a really unique talent, and it'd be a shame to just to label him as a stopgap guy until Ingram bulks up. But like,
yeah,
that's pretty much what he would end up being in this scenario.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if the Lakers don't keep their pick, I see them going after big name guys like the Griffins and the Gordon Haywards and stuff like that. But I mean, if they do, I just don't see them like getting them and then like benching their big name young guys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I don't think that I think they're too far into this rebuild to like really want to do that. So for my scenario, I think it's okay. So like keep the number 2 pick. I think the Lakers end up drafting Lonzo Ball at number 2. I'm not too comfortable with that pick. I'd want Josh Jackson, but I'm just going off Draft Express and what everyone's talking about, and what Lakers would probably do. It's not what I would do, but the Lakers will probably end up drafting Lonzo. So the Lakers have their backcourt of the future now with Russell and Lonzo, and then you have Ingram starting at the 3 spot, which would be ideally for him because I don't think he's ready to start the 4 yet. And then at the 4 you have Randall and then Zubats, and that would be your starting lineup. And I think I don't know if you add too many pieces, like if you add too many like veterans, I think that you probably go hard after Iguodala. He was Pelinka's for one of Pelinka's clients, so they have that kind of connection. Luke has a connection with Iggy, so I think that's probably like one of the most more realistic names.
Iggy's probably the most. If I had to predict a free agent we would get, it would be Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, and then with the 28th pick, I would end up drafting. I'd look at Juwan Evans, but I think the Lakers probably go more the route of a wing, or like Josh Hart and Sundarius Thornwell, who's a guy who's made a lot of noise, and I think that
I'd be fine with Thornwell. I just think Evans, he's a sophomore, right? Evans.
Yeah.
He has bigger, more upside, and if they. Like Lonzo and D'Angelo will be the 1-2, right? And that's 60 minutes right there. That's 96 minutes of playing time right there.
No. All right, look. So D'Angelo gets 28 minutes,
right,
and then Lonzo gets 45.
Jeez Christ.
He's the next Kobe. So we got to play with him.
No, that's Devin Booker. You need to stop. It's Devin Booker.
No. Lonzo's the savior.
Lonzo's Russell Westbrook.
No.
You got to remember.
Exactly. Russell Westbrook plays 45 minutes in his sleep.
The Lakers need guys who are gonna, take those 36 minutes when D'Angelo and Lonzo aren't on the court, or probably like maybe a little more than that. They'll probably both play 32 plus minutes. So someone like Juwan Evans, where you can what I would do if I was Luke, I would play Lonzo first like 7-8 minutes of the first. And then you take out Lonzo, put in Juwan Evans, have D'Angelo play some 2, and then you have go rest of the quarter, maybe a couple more minutes of the second, and then you bring in Lonzo for D'Angelo. D'Angelo comes back in around the 5-minute mark, something like that. That's what it would be, kind of.
Well, and speaking on Jordan Clarkson, I do think that he most likely gets traded. But I think there's also a serious chance that he doesn't get traded.
Yeah.
And I think the most realistic outcome is that he doesn't get traded, just because he's still on a cheap contract, and I'm sure that Magic Johnson really sounds like he really likes Jordan Clarkson. And I think I'd probably lean Lakers keeping him for one more year and find out what they have in him for one more year. And I think that the Juwan Evans Jordan Clarkson combination would be interesting. It could work out, but it'd be like a wait and see thing and a trial and error thing for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Lakers offseason is going to be interesting because free agency is going to be probably the most watched thing. Especially if the Lakers, even if the Lakers keep the pick, like they want to find out like what kind of route the Lakers are going to go with. Are they going to go with like invest highly in free agency and spend a lot of money this year and just like rule out Paul George or save money, because the Lakers are pretty cap struck right now with Dane Maz. So are they going to trade one of them?
I think what Pelinka should focus on just this offseason is trying to get money off the books from those big contracts. I still think you obviously need to be active in free agency, but I just don't see a point in giving someone a lot of money. If you think Paul George is going to come through in free agency in 2018, then I just don't see a point in giving someone a big contract. I've seen some people say that it will be possible to give someone else a big contract and then and also get Paul George. I think it was Ben Rosales when everyone was talking about the whole George Hill, Gordon Hayward stuff. I think if the Lakers could get rid of Mozgov or Deng, then yeah, you can go after someone and given a big name contract, try to get a Drew Holiday or something.
Yeah, like I mean, those two deals have hindered the Lakers a lot this year, and what they can do. They have little money to play around with if the series fall by George, and even if they aren't, they don't have like tons and tons of money. And the
Yeah.
worst part about it is that the money's on the books for 3 more years. That's great.
Well, I think they're both going to get stretched. If they don't trade them, they both get stretched after 2 years.
Please stretch them. Stretch them all the way to Cambodia, where Clayton is. Just stretch them all the way there. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be their biggest focus. But if they don't, and like if they get like news from that Paul George is probably not going to come. Or I don't know if the cap works or whatever, but like Paul George can be traded, and like just want to like Lakers are going to like trade either Brandon Ingram or D'Angelo Russell for Paul George, or a package for Paul George. Then the Lakers would. Then that's where a trade probably steps into the equation. Where like if the Lakers get like Gordon Hayward and then Paul George wants to come and he wants to resign and sign an extension, then you see the Lakers probably trade one of those two, most likely. But hopefully not. Hopefully the Lakers just like draft a guy, and then they just sign a bunch of stopgap guys. Hopefully the Lakers can find a couple good ones that can stick around on some cheap contracts. And then just roll the youth movement, like really, really, really like go all in on this youth movement, like play them all 30 plus minutes, just like give Nance some good run time, give Randall, Zubats, Ingram, Russell, Lonzo, or Josh Jackson, give them all a bunch of run time. And just because that's pretty much all you have. Like next year is going to be the year where you really, really got to show all your guns and everything that you have. Like you really got to show that this youth movement is like working. And look at these guys. Like D'Angelo Russell's going to be in his third year. He should be much improved by then. Randall's going to be in his third year. He should be a lot more improved. And then we have Ingram, who's supposed to take that sophomore jump, and then we have a rookie who, like Josh Jackson, say what you want about him, he brings value immediately with both playmaking and defense.
Yeah.
And Lonzo with playmaking and some defense, and shooting. So these are all things that are going to translate well immediately. And so the Lakers should have a better team next year. The youth should develop, and that's pretty much all the Lakers can bank on at this point.
Yeah, I kind of have a question for you. Best case realistic scenario for you for our starting lineup for next year.
Best case scenario,
but like realistic, not like getting you know what I mean.
So Markelle Fultz is realistic,
right? Yeah. Markelle's realistic because the Lakers can get the first number 1 pick.
Okay, so my realistic lineup is Markelle Fultz, D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, Jonathan Isaac, and Zubats.
Yeah, so you're going with the trading Randall and like Clarkson or Randall in the pick, the other pick for another lottery thing.
Yeah, you'll come to learn that I really love Jonathan Isaac.
Okay.
So what's yours like?
Markelle's obviously the pipe dream.
Yeah.
But it's not really a pipe dream though. It's realistic, but it's kind of a pipe dream.
It's unlikely. That's what it is at this point.
It's like a 20% chance of happening.
Amen. So you're telling me there's a chance? Hey,
we have 19.9 or whatever we're gonna get to get the number 1 pick, so it's a 15 to 19% chance. Markelle, D'Angelo. Man, it's tough to cause I don't know how realistic getting Jonathan Isaac would be.
No, it's like a 1% chance, but like
Yeah.
I'd still love it so much. I love it.
I'm gonna say Ingram at the 3, and then I think we keep Randall, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded. I actually, man, Markel Fultz is like Clayton always talks about the Lakers trading the second or third pick to try to get like the Kings 2 picks, right?
Okay. I see where you're going with this. Okay.
Yeah, but Markel Fultz is the only guy that I wouldn't want Jonathan Isaac and like someone for. You know what I mean? Like Fultz is that good that he is better than
Lonzo's that good. I mean,
yeah.
Who doesn't want the next Mr. Triple Double?
If Lakers were able to like trade that second or third pick and get like okay, where are the Kings picks right now? I believe they have 6 and 9 or 6 and 8, and it has them taking De'Aaron Fox and Jonathan Isaac. Yeah, Isaac and Monk, and I actually like the combination of D'Angelo and Monk together, possibly, because I think the offensive potential there is could be ridiculous.
Yeah,
just with the shooting ability of Monk, and then you bring in Isaac and having Isaac and Ingram as the 3-4, and then Zubats or like some combination of Zubats and a more athletic rim protector type guy. And that's
like, and then you have Nance and Randall, small ball bench lineup.
I think at that point, one of those guys would be gone.
No. You run all the small. Those are the rules. All the small ball.
And then having whoever we get the 28th pick as a backup point guard, and then Dane Clarkson, I guess. I don't know, but. I don't know. Some of this stuff is super hard to predict, especially when's the lottery? May?
About May.
Yeah, especially when a lot of this stuff is, not really set. It'll be a lot easier to talk about this stuff once the Lakers keep or lose their pick.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, keep it.
I'm just ready for the Lakers to lose the pick and then all Lakers Twitter to be like the saddest of all time. Like
no.
The rebuilds over Jim and Mitch ruined it. Trade D'Angelo, trade everyone, restart, rebuild your rebuild.
Trade D'Angelo for Paul George because he sucks. D'Angelo.
And then trade Randall, keep Nance because he's your core piece.
And keep Ingram because everyone loves Ingram.
And keep Zubats, of course.
Yeah.
Next Marcus All. But trade D'Angelo.
The best centerpiece. Yeah. The Lakers centerpiece.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lake Show Life.
Shout out to that wonderful article detailing why a center who no one knew his name is going to be like the centerpiece, and not the two-way huge upside wing or the superstar lead guard. No, of course not them, right? It could be them.
No, stop talking about common sense, okay?
Yeah, I know. I need to stop. I'm not being a true Lakers fan right now. But yeah, that'll do it for this podcast. We just talked about some scenarios, just spitballed around some ideas, talked about a few late round draft picks Lakers should probably go after. And yeah, this is our like unlikely scenario. Some of it's unlikely, some of it's more likely than not. But yeah, this is what we would like to happen next year. Although knowing how things work, it's probably not going to be at all this way. We'll probably end up signing another 30-year-old guy to a 4-year contract, and then we would even.
Paul Millsap, come on down.
Yeah, that'll be fun because we need an all-star, right?
Even though I like Paul Millsap, but
oh no, yeah, I like him, but just not on a rebuilding team, please.
No,
it's not on our teim. But yeah, that'll do it for us. Devin Booker scored 70 points in the game. So
yeah, man, this just shows he's better than D'Angelo.
I mean, Kobe wasn't dropping 70 points at his age.
Devin Booker's 70-point game was better than Kobe's 81-point game. There, I said it. I finally admit it.
Jalen Rose is probably telling himself that as he goes to sleep.
Oh man, that was funny today, seeing Kobe with Jalen Rose.
Yeah, shout out to Lil Mamba though. Stay strong. We'll talk to you guys later.